Welcome back to Kryptolytix, giving you a fresh take on crypto analytics. Today, we're going to go over a couple more airdrop related things over on the Solana ecosystem. Just going to give another quick update with the Jupiter aggregator airdrop. And also, we're going to have a look at ways we can farm the up and coming speculative airdrop for Kamino. And also look at a few other farming opportunities and looping opportunities so that we can farm airdrops and also gain yield at the same time. So let's just get straight into it, shall we? Okay, so here we are starting off with the Jupiter aggregator token, and officially the airdrop has been announced. So at this point, you can go to airdrop.jup.ag, as you can see here on the screen, and you can go and connect your wallet and see what you're eligible for, essentially. So for me, I was eligible for 20,700, and that's because I had 300,000 roughly in trading volume. And also, you know, there's an OG bonus because I used it ever since the platform started, and consistency because I've been using it since the platform started all the time. And you can basically just go in and check yours out just by going to and following this link here. It's on my X, so you can just go and check out that post there if you like. And you can basically just come here and connect your wallet to see what you're eligible for. So the claim is not started just yet. All you can really do is see your eligibility, but the claim will come shortly. Now, there's a lot of speculation flying around about the price, and seems like no one really knows what the price will be. And that's true that no one knows what the price will be because we don't really know what the market cap is yet, right? But we can at least have a look at a few other things like what's the circulating supply, and then based on a rough estimation, work out what the price will be based on that alone. So according to this CoinMarketCap article here, we can see that the circulating supply will be 10 billion. Based on this article, that the airdrop will be 40% of the total supply, which is 10 billion. So there will be 4 billion that will be distributed. So if we can work on this being the total supply for the token, 10 billion tokens, and this is confirmed based on this image that I showed in the last video that I covered for the JUP airdrop token, which basically shows what the market cap would have to be in order for a price to be achieved. So, and this is also based on the airdrop trading volume as well. Like, this was out for quite some time, so I'm not sure whether there's still a debate on the price and people saying 75 cents. That would make the market cap $7 billion, $7.5 billion. It's just not realistic, okay? Not right now, not at this point in the market cycle. So people who are saying that, you know, it'll be 10 cents or 20 cents or whatever like this, I just don't see this being feasible based on Solana's current TVL and also all of the DeFi activity. I mean, it's definitely picking up, but it's nowhere near where it needs to be to achieve these sorts of price points. So what I'm actually referencing to here on this tweet on the side is there is a perps for Jupiter aggregator, and currently pre-launch. So this is completely pre-launch. So this is a perps based on the pre-launch price. It's currently trading at $2.1 billion market cap, which is absolutely insane if you ask me. This is probably a bit more viable down here. Maybe that's an $800 million market cap, right? And right now, this is $2.1 billion market cap. Now, in the peak of the bull market, yes, this is absolutely possible. I think that's certainly feasible, because if we have a look, for example, at the Cake token, which is probably the closest, I would say. So Cake is the pancake swap token on the Binance Smart Chain. So if Solana sort of takes hold and becomes sort of the Binance Smart Chain of the current cycle, then there's a good chance that the JUP token will go up to something in the order of $6 billion, which was the peak of the Cake token in the last bull market. And we can go and have a look here at CoinGecko to confirm that. So here we have the pancake swap price chart. So this is the market cap for Cake. So it dropped in November 2020. Which you could say is probably the equivalent where we are now, but there's probably a lot more money in DeFi now than there was back then. But you could see it got up pretty quickly actually to 2 billion market cap. That was 21, so that was after Bitcoin already raged up and started putting in new all-time highs. Now, Bitcoin's been going crazy lately. Today it's at 44,000, which is pretty nuts, but we haven't started to enter price discovery yet. So we're probably more so around here at the moment, but I think it's feasible to say a $750 million market cap is possible. So that would put the token price at 0.075. But what we can see here, at least in the mania of the bull market, so the 1st of May, when you had your safe moons and all these other things going on, and now we're really starting to gain massive traction in all the BSC tokens, we could see that the market cap got to $6.6 billion. So yes, this is definitely feasible in the bull market. But right now, I would say it's probably safer to say we'll get 750 million, maybe $1 billion market cap within the first few months of the token being dropped. So this is kind of what I'm using as a reference to kind of work out what we would be. And I think 750 million is pretty fair. And if it's a little bit over, that's fine. But 750 million would put the price at 0.075, or a $1 billion market cap would put the price at 0.1. So that would mean if you accumulated about 20,000 tokens, or if you're allocated 20,000 tokens for the airdrop, you'd get about $1,500 if the price is about 0.075. So it's still a nice airdrop, but I just see a lot of people out on X discussing price and saying things like 75 cents and 50 cents and all these sorts of prices. I just don't think we're ready for that. But if you're willing to hold, like I am, I will probably hold until the bull market, then you might see some of these sort of valuations, some of these prices. It's $5 billion market cap is what we need for a 50-cent price. So that's pretty high, just so you know. So anyway, price speculation aside, the airdrop will come soon. You can check your eligibility by going to this website, connecting your wallet and seeing what you're eligible for. And you can sort of just go from there and be realistic with the pricing. Predictions on that one, that's for sure. So let's get into the next topic. Next up, I want to talk about Kamino. And now I spoke about this in the last video where I was actually farming Bonk tokens using Kamino, because if you deposited USDC in here, and it's still the case, but the rewards have dropped dramatically. But if you deposit USDC in here, and there's other assets as well, then you actually get free Bonk tokens, which is really cool. So currently the APY for USDC is sitting at 9.35. And if we hover over, we can see it's only 4.59% for Bonk rewards. Now that was like 38%, which was absolutely crazy, but that's definitely come down a lot since then. Actually the lending APY has gone up quite a bit as well. So it's 4.77. Now remember, using this platform, so the points at the moment doesn't do anything, but the points is what they will use to calculate airdrops most likely. Now, I did talk about that Dirty Diggler article that showed that list of all of the speculative airdrops. The probability of Kamino doing an airdrop is incredibly high. So there are plenty of sources that show and indicate that this is basically what they're working up towards, and that's what the points will be for. So the more you use this platform, the better off you'll be, right? So you'll accumulate more points and you will qualify then for a larger share of the airdrop. So this is something that I've done to really maximize my potential for an airdrop, but also I'm using this to farm BLZE tokens. And so if you don't know what BLZE is, it's another LSD or liquid stake derivative of Solana on the Solana network, and it is bSOL is the liquid stake token. So like mSOL, and you've got jitoSOL now, which I'll talk about shortly. bSOL is the BlazeSOL's liquid stake derivative token. So if you're not familiar with liquid stake derivatives, basically all you do is you deposit your SOL into their contract and you get a receipt token. So it's a rebase version of Solana. So it's the price of Solana plus the staking rewards built into it. And that just slowly goes up in relation to the price of SOL, essentially, based on the APY and the yield. So what I've done is I've just deposited 4,000 roughly USDC into here. And what I've done and again, the more you use all the different things in this platform, like providing equity, because this is a money market and also a yield aggregator, the more you use the different functions and features of this platform, the more you will qualify for an airdrop, or the larger your airdrop share will likely be. So I've just really wound a lot up here, as you can see. So I have gone pretty heavy on a lend and borrow. So what I've done is I've put in some USDC and then I borrowed bSOL because the APY is currently only 0.86 to borrow. So this would have been great for if you were to be farming the jitoSOL JTO token, because its borrow APY is really low. And if the minimum requirement was to just hold it in your wallet, which is what it was among other things as well, which again I'll go into more detail shortly, then this is one way to get exposure to jitoSOL without actually buying it, if that's something that you didn't want to do, if you didn't want price exposure to jitoSOL, you could have borrowed it here. But the snapshot's already taken place, I'm afraid, so there's no point in worrying about doing that anymore. But what we can do is we can farm BLZE rewards, which is BLZE, which is the token for bSOL. So they have a token too. They already did their airdrop. So they do have ongoing airdrops though. So they will be constantly taking snapshots and constantly airdropping tokens. So the chances of getting another airdrop for the BLZE token is still pretty high. So it's worth doing things that will increase your chances of getting any future airdrops that come out for that token, right? But also at the same time, let's work towards getting that Kamino airdrop. So you can see here the USDC. Yes, sure, that's cool. I've already mentioned that. I've borrowed against this USDC 36 SOL. And 20 of the SOL, what I've done is I've gone into the liquidity pools here and I've single-sided. So when you single-side stake or provide liquidity single-sided, it'll automatically convert half of it or whatever percentage is required to create a LP token. So at the moment, the APY for the bSOL SOL is 4.27%, and that's using Orca. Now, when you do that within Kamino, you also get another LP receipt token. So that LP receipt token, once you've got that and it's in here, you can actually, again, provide this as equity to further borrow more bSOL against it. So then what I did is I borrowed an additional 16 bSOL. And again, the APY is so low that it's fine, especially because, you know, you're earning 4% on providing it as liquidity. So that's fine. This is a rebase token though, admittedly, so it is a stable farm. However, you have to remember that the bSOL is also slowly accumulating in value, but it's only by a very small amount. It's by whatever the staking yield is on the token, but it's still relatively safe for the most part, because unless you get some crazy depeg or anything like this, it will mostly stay pretty level with very, very small increases or incremental increases in the value of bSOL. So while you're farming this is pretty safe and you should be able to unwind pretty easily. And based on the yield you get from the LP, it should be all good. You should be at the very least break even, plus the additional rewards from the BLZE token and also the yield as well. So you'll be up in the end, most likely, as long as this platform doesn't have any issues, right? So as you can see, I've supplied that liquidity pool token here. So I've just popped that back in there. Its value is 1.3 thousand. So it's really just not a lot because I've only borrowed 50% against. You could go more degen than this. I wouldn't. Probably less is better, I would say, than this, but I'm a little bit of a DeFi degen. So I have gone for 50%. If I see that this starts to creep up though, I'll start to deleverage my position. And so what we're looking at here is we're looking at supplying, borrowing, and providing liquidity. So that's 3 different things that we're doing with this platform, which would hopefully give us a decent number of points for qualification for the airdrop. And remember, you're still getting those sweet Bonk tokens. And you can see Bonk's been going absolutely ballistic in line with Bitcoin, and Pepe's been doing similar things as well. Some of these meme coins are running in line with BTC as well, while most other altcoins seem to be kind of stagnated a bit. So you're also earning Bonk tokens by supplying USDC as well. So that's another thing to factor in. And again, to claim those, you just come into your portfolio here and you can just claim them right here. I've also got some BLZE tokens that are slowly farming away. It's really not worth anything right now, but anyway, the Bonk is also, because the yields come down a lot, it's very slowly farming now as well. But again, what we're doing right here is we're more so aiming at the airdrop more than anything else, because the airdrops seem to be worth a decent amount. They seem to be dropping at around $1,500 per airdrop if you manage to play it right. So it's definitely worth doing. So you can just come over here and you can claim these as they farm, and you can look at the interest that you've earned as well from the lending. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool way to wind up. And you might be wondering, what did you do with that additional 16 bSOL? Well, what I did was I've put it in Solend. So you can see here that currently to supply bSOL in Solend, you get 10% APY, which is really nice. So that is currently farming 10.78% in BLZE rewards. The actual supply APY is nothing. So once this is crushed, then it'll be worth pulling this out and paying that debt back. But for the time being, it's definitely worth collecting this 10.79% in Solend, I would say here. So I've also put my PIF in here as well, which is earning 0.61%. Very negligible. It's really not a lot, but the isolated pool went from earning about 10% to nothing. So I've put this in the main pool over here to earn a tiny little bit. That might go up when the bull market sort of starts properly. like at least the altcoin bull market, because while Bitcoin's going up, everything else is kind of going sideways. So there's no real confirmation we're in a bull market just yet, but we are in the early stages of one, that's for sure. So it's definitely worth at least taking some of these rewards here. And I would say the reason why they have such high APY here is because they would have managed to get massive airdrops during the BlazeSOL's airdrop program. So now they're just giving them out essentially for providing liquidity to their platform. So there's a bit of a crazy loop going on here, obviously, but it's definitely something that's worth doing. And we can see here on Kamino's X post, they posted a couple of days ago that you can see that they're also even mentioning the ongoing airdrop for the BLZE token. And by looping up this way, we're also getting more of a chance to get that ongoing token airdrop. So that's a few tokens you're getting. You're getting Bonk, you're getting BLZE, you're getting a potential for future BLZE airdrops, and also you're accumulating more points in Kamino for an airdrop in Kamino Finance. So there you go. It's a whole bunch of yield opportunities in various tokens and an airdrop all in one place. So the next place to check is the Jito token or the JTO token airdrop. So you can pop your address in here and then search, and it will tell you what you're eligible for. Personally, I only had about $1,500 worth of JTO or Jito, and we can come over to our trusty Solana Airdrop checker, which again, I've mentioned in the last couple of videos, and you can find a link to that in the description below, and you can see what you're eligible for. I only had a very small amount of Jito staked SOL, so my allocation is very small. So yeah, it's nothing too big. It's just in one of my other wallets, and that's fine. You know, anything's better than nothing at the end of the day. And you can just basically confirm that by going over here and then popping your address into jito.network/airdrop. And there is information on your eligibility on their network here. They've got a blog for the Jito network, and you can go through here and you can give it a good read to see what the allocation is. So you can see here that I didn't have very much, and so I'm just tier 1. But there's some people out there that invested big time that will be getting probably quite a lot of JTO. So if you decided you liked MEV, reward-based staking, which is maximum extractable value, which means that at all times, technically, they are extracting the most amount of value out of Solana staking, which is a really cool concept. And also they do liquidity provisioning baked into their staking as well. Then it's a really cool concept. Let's be honest, it's a really, really cool concept. So even having their token or their liquid staked Solana derivative is a pretty good way to earn yield on Solana without having to jump around from validator to validator. So it's a pretty big article, so I won't read everything about it, but you can go and you can look at the process that they've gone through for working out your allocation for the airdrop over here in this blog article. We can see here again, and this is pre-launch pricing. The speculators are already having a field days with this. This is pretty nuts, this candle, but they just listed JTO or Jito, I should say, perps on Avo. So if you ever look at Avo, again, that website I mentioned before, you can see what people are speculating the price will be. At the moment, it's at 50 cents. The closest token we have to compare to would be the MNDE token, which is Marinade Finance, which is for bSOL. That's the other liquid stake, one of the other liquid stake derivative tokens on the Solana network. And you can see that the TVL is much lower for Jito, but again, that will most likely climb as time passes. Total supply will be about 1 billion tokens. The initial circulating supply will be 115 million. You can see the allocation here. And we can see the current market cap for the MNDE token is only 53 or about 54 million. And that is pretty much at its all-time high right now. Because if we have a look back here, you can see it launched at like about 30 million or something like that. It's very low market cap, very, very low market cap coin, this one. So if we go based on what we've found so far with a 1 billion token circulating supply, or total supply, I should say, and a market cap of 50 million, that is if it's similar to the MNDE token, then the price will be about 5 cents. So for me, I'll get about $250 US in my airdrop. Very, very small, but you know, it's still good. It's still fine. And just makes you wonder what the hell's going on over here. People really, yeah, there's really a lot of speculation going here. This would be a market cap of 600 million, which I think for something else that would be fine. But if we're going off MNDE tokens current market cap, which I think is pretty fair, then it would be much less than this. So this is probably a good short, if I'm honest. This is probably a really good short. But just like the other airdrops that I've received, I will not be selling them yet. I'll sell them in the bull market. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. These might drop at pretty reasonable prices and then just dump immediately, especially something like this. So just keep that in mind. You might want to be very short term with your holding of this token and not even wait for the bull market. It's completely up to you. I think most people will probably sell this day one, so that's probably something to factor in. So we'll have to see if the price can absorb the sell pressure, then that's pretty good. But if the price can't absorb the sell pressure, then it will lose a lot of its value. So say if it drops at like 150 million or 115 million dollar market cap and loses 50% of it, then that'll put it around 5 cents. So this is another one ticked off the old list, huh? This is the Dirty Diggler Substack article that I mentioned before. And so we've ticked off Jito Labs, we've ticked off Jupiter, we're currently looking at the Kamino one, and we've ticked off Pith. So there's still plenty more where that came from. So remember to check out this article and see what's relevant to you, because something like the Drift or the Phantom, I'm not sure there'll be a Phantom wallet one, but there's still plenty of speculation around it. These are two that are well worth checking out. And also Mayan Finance, which is a bridge, which I've actually used. That's something as well that's definitely worth checking out. And there's also a potential wormhole airdrop as well, which is another bridge. So if you just want to swap back and forth between different blockchains, then that's another one as well. That's actually not in this list, but I've seen some information out there on Wormhole as well, which is Portal. So that's probably worth doing as well. Just sending some stuff from different chains. I've sent plenty cross chain, so I don't have to worry about doing any additional farming for that. But if you haven't, then that's something that's probably worth looking into too. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up because this video has been going on long enough. Personally, this is the one I'm really focused on next. Again, the Jito Labs airdrop snapshot has already been taken, so you can't really do much about that now. However, they might do additional snapshots in the future, so it's definitely worth holding on to some of this as well, because you never know. Some of these retroactive airdrops where they've taken a lot of the snapshots already, you might have missed the boat on. However, like some of these platforms have been known to release additional tokens or release additional airdrops in the future. So that's another thing that's worth considering as well. So if you like this video, please give the video a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I release videos in the future. This airdrop season in Solana is actually pretty epic. It's pretty cool that we're getting all of these free tokens and stuff at the moment. And this is the best sort of time to do it as well in these sort of months leading up to the bull market. These airdrops might not be life-changing, but they'll certainly help you out along your way. And it will help you cut your teeth in DeFi as well. If you haven't really done much DeFi stuff, then it's a good opportunity to do it because you'll get rewarded for it too, which is really cool. Anyway, keep safe out there. This is Kryptolytix signing out. Have a good one.